Welcome back to episode 315 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike, and I'm here with my man Grizz, and we're heading back to the jungle for some zombie action. I cannot wait to talk about this.
The hat makes sense now. Okay,
I am prepared with my jungle hat, but first, let's hit that intro.
These men established a small research center on a remote tropical island where they proceeded with their humanitarian mission, a task linked to the fundamental principles of our very existence. Their aim was to conquer mankind's first, oldest, and greatest enemy, death itself.
Okay.
Okay, man. Zombie 4 After Death. If you're not aware, in Europe, such as, countries such as Italy or whatnot, they will take a movie that was successful and then just kind of make a whole series out of it. No relation to them at all. They just kind of go with it. They just steal the name. They did it with fucking Demons. They did it with Evil Dead, I think. They did it with fucking Zombie, obviously. And this week, we're covering Zombie 4 After Death. Now, of course, everybody knows Zombie 2 is the Fulci one. Zombie would technically be Dawn of the Dead. There's Zombie 3, which I actually I own a copy here. Right. This one does have a loose connection to Fulci because he did make some of it, but I believe he got a little too sick and he was not able to complete it, so they kind of took over. They finished it, and it's not quite a Fulci film, but it does still feel like one. It's pretty cool. I like that one. But this week we are covering Zombie 4, and that is After Death. Now there was a US release of this. There's like the Shriek Show one. I also have a Japanese one that's awesome with the artwork. Yeah, the artwork is really fucking cool on this. But one thing I gotta say, man, Zombie 2, jungle movie. Zombie 3, jungle movie. Zombie 4, jungle movie. So at least they have that in common. They do have, I guess, you'll see some like thematic things that are Zombie 2 based. You'll see some, you'll see some scenes where you're kind of like, oh, that looks familiar.
Feels inspired by.
Yeah. They did give it a go, I guess. But this one's pretty interesting because it feels like they put a lot of care into it, right? Obviously it wasn't, it was released in 1989. Did Zombie 3 get released in, what was that, 80? Oh, man, now I got to look this up. Zombie 4.
It's interesting to me, though, because, for this week for the podcast, I watched this movie, and I had to go back and watch 3 again just to kind of, touch base with that movie. It's been such a long time. I know a lot of people get into 3, man. I think 4 is a much better movie. I think it feels more true to Zombie 2, I guess. Maybe because it has those elements of paying homage to it or whatever. But I guess I don't like the whole outbreak of a chemical or some kind of toxin that creates the zombie thing that's going on in 3, like the whole fucking U.S. military involvement and all that shit.
Yeah, like this one, there is a chemical involved, but it doesn't cause the zombies. The voodoo priest causes the zombies, but the
which is traditionally a zombie aspect, which I like. I like the tradition being true to form here in this movie. You know, that's
Yeah.
how the first zombie movie was ever made was White Zombie, I believe it was, or something, or it might have been before that actually. But it was all based on like these voodoo priests creating these zombies and stuff. So I love this aspect of the movie that it's like really right out of the gate, it's touching base on that.
Yeah, and I gotta say, man, I really do enjoy like the zombies in the jungle, because I feel like me personally, you also, like, we would have a shot against zombies if we were starting at our house.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, put
Oh,
you
yeah.
in a survival situation also where, you know, you have no supplies, you have nothing. You're like in this situation in the fucking jungle. It's hot, it's buggy, there's animals, there's all sorts of stuff. There's the zombies out there. I feel like it just makes it that much worse, that much harder. And I feel like it gives the movie like a little bit more like tenseness. You know what I mean? There's some more suspense to it because everything is a little bit more important. You can't just kind of like fuck around and hang out. Something always happens when they stop for a minute, you know?
That is a great aspect of the jungle, is that like it lends itself to being like a building block of of scenes that are like equally as climactic as the next one. You're always, like you just said, expecting something to happen just because like the unknown of the jungle, like
Yeah.
that's why I like cannibal movies so much too, because it's like the fucking booby trap aspect of things, and like you never know like what these people are capable of. It's an unknown territory to you, but it's very familiar to them, which is another kind of like thing that plays into it that kind of makes things scary, is if like you're
on
not
their
in a
turf.
home base, but they
Yeah.
are, like that's a whole different level of fuck.
Yeah, well, it's like a haunted house film. When you go to this house, you're at the mercy of whatever spirit, whatever entity, whatever demonic force, or it's like a serial killer type situation. Like that's their home base. They know the secret passageway. They know where that door leads. When you're in the jungle, you're in that haunted house. You have no idea where that path leads. You don't know if there's water that way. You don't know if there's zombies in that fucking whatever. It just makes it that much fucking worse.
Yeah.
And also, I will say, never go to an island that already has a reputation for like being fucked up. You know what I mean?
People just
Like,
disappearing and never being seen again.
Yeah,
That's
like-
a bad sign.
yeah, like, oh yeah, that is an island of the dead. Don't go there. The dead own that now. Oh, that
only gotta tell me
island's
once.
cursed. Yeah. Yeah, now the only thing I have to say is I don't think they ever like say it or whatnot, but I wish they would have called the island Matul. Like
Oh, that would have been the connection that it really needed.
like it would have been like later on or whatever. But really, I guess Zombie 2, like it kind of shows like the end of the world. Right? Like the ending is the zombies walking over the Brooklyn Bridge, and you kind of get the like the idea that like, well, that's fucking
That's
it.
it.
Everybody's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one actually this one does kind of have a downer ending also.
Oh, it's a great, yeah. I like that aspect of. I wanted it to be a no happy endings.
Yeah,
like
for
that's
sure.
how a good zombie film should end. So this got me thinking about all the different zombie movies that we've covered, all the ones that we haven't. Just like the whole zombie genre in general, man. Where do you rank these zombies in design wise? And if like, with that also a caveat being, what are some of your like favorite types of zombies?
So, I put these somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
They look all right. There's none that are like really. Well, I guess yeah, like but the woman in the beginning that you'll see in one of the clips, she doesn't really look like a zombie. She looks more like a demon, like one of the demons from Demons.
Demons? Yeah, for sure.
But I think they do a good enough job where you could still tell what it is. It doesn't look too hokey. They all look kind of similar though. They kind of got like a uniform going on, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I would actually put these guys pretty far down on my list of like, good zombies.
Like there's been worse.
It's just like the real downer for me of this movie is that the zombies are all very similar. There's a couple standout characters and stuff like that, but the overall look of these zombies is just kind of a fucking letdown, man. Like they all, like you said, kind of have the same like, costume, like this black hooded, like Foot Clan kind of fucking thing going on a little bit, dude.
Well, One thing I will say is that whenever one of the main characters gets turned, they look good.
Oh yeah, those zombies look great as far as like their actual makeup. 'Cause we recognize them as people, and they're not wearing the fucking get up, the outfit.
Yeah.
I guess that's just supposed to be like the tribe people that were like
Yeah, like indigenous people of that island or whatnot.
of that island. So I
so
guess
now-
the outfits make a little more sense.
My favorites, I'm not going to include Zombie in it, Zombie 2, because that's...
I think that's probably like
For me,
the creme
that's-
de la creme, dude. That's
yeah,
really
for me,
the
that's
best.
like the default. When it comes to everything else, and I'm not saying those are the best zombies. That's just to me like that is just from everything, my upbringing, watching the movie, all that shit. Like that's my favorite. But if I had to pick another one, I would probably say like the Return of the Living Dead series. The first, 1 and 2. I feel like all those zombies look really good, really believable, pretty realistic.
They walk the perfect line. Those zombies in particular have the perfect mix of being like realistic, but also having that. I don't want to. I'd hate to say cartoonish, but like still like a little bit of a comical edge to them, where it's like they're not ultra realistic.
Yeah,
That's where I fall off a lot. Is like the Walking Dead and like even some of like the newer zombie movies stuff. It just I'm not a big fan of like the hyper realistic zombie. I do want it to be a little weird and maybe a little bit goofy, like
yeah.
I'm a fucking huge Dead Alive guy, Reanimator. Those kind of zombies to me are like the fucking best. Just the over the top kind of individual characteristics. Like each zombie's not just a dead guy.
Yeah.
This one's got a weird fucking stomach creature. Like, they all have like these like side kind of characters to them, these personalities.
A movie with really good zombies, the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yeah.
Now
I will say that's a great
That's a great modern zombie. How about that?
2003, right? Like that time period around
yeah,
then,
early
I think.
2000s. I think they nailed the whole look of like putting together a recently deceased person and like something that looks like a rabid animal that's still able to move with like 60% of control of their body. You know what I mean? Like they could still run, their arms still kind of move, but they move kind of like slightly disjointed. I think that's a really good one also.
Something that this zombie series has kind of taken on as like part of its, mythos or whatever, is that these zombies all of a sudden have the ability to no longer just be like Walking Dead characters. They're able to use machetes like in part 3 and shit, and like in this one they're like using actual assault rifles.
Yeah.
And I don't man, I'm not feeling that.
So
Like I want my zombies to be fucking, like you said, animalistic, brainless fucking, going for like, the kill kind of a thing.
So something I would like to see in a zombie movie, which I guess it's possible, but I like the idea of a recently dead person being able to still kind of talk and be like themselves, quote unquote. But as the time goes on, they devolve. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I would like to see that. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, would you be able to immediately speak if you came back as a zombie and you didn't have like major
Would you
fucking
just
damage?
lose all of that? Like, yeah, I mean,
If
I
you're
think it
able
would
to
depend on like how the person would be killed also. Like if the person had like head damage, like they'd be fucking stupid. Like
Yeah.
even if they were fine before, they'd be come back like a little slower and shit. That'd be
Now,
real fucking funny.
Here's the thing, man. What do you think about like the Return of the Living Dead zombies, where like the only thing that can truly kill them is like electricity? Like you have to fry them. Like, do you think that's a good thing, or do you think like just
That's
the shot to the
weird.
brain is good?
I like the destruction of the head in any type. I think that's my preferred way to kill zombies. I'm also not a big fan of like the fast zombie thing from like 28 Days Later and all those.
Those
movies
aren't,
and
but they
stuff.
aren't dead.
They're infected.
That-
right?
yeah, that's
I
like a
guess that's
rabies.
the difference. And that's the thing too. I don't.
That's terrifying shit, dude. That's the stuff.
Oh
that, like,
yeah, that's the real. Yeah, I guess that's like the real what could be for sure.
yeah.
But I guess I'd like to separate those like genres out a little more because they get looped together quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's completely different to me. Like you're saying, those are not zombies. They might act zombie-ish, but they're like infected humans. You know,
Yeah.
they're fucking monsters, dude.
That is, see, like to me, that like 28 days later, 28 weeks later, like those movies to me are so effective because they did it that way, where they made it like the rage virus, like
Yeah.
it's an infection, it's like rabies, and like it just turns you into this fucking crazy person, but you still can kind of like think. You know what I mean? Like you're not
There's something in there, yeah.
Yeah, like they show them like kind of recognizing people and all sorts of shit like that, like a rabid animal. That is awesome.
That opening too of that move, that first one where he's like in the hospital and everything's just like off.
They're just hanging dog in
Everyone's
the
gone.
hospital. Everybody's
Yeah.
gone. Just wondering
Dude,
what the fuck happened.
That's pretty iconic. Like looking back on that movie now, like that, especially because I saw that in theaters when I was younger and shit. Like, definitely, you know, it has its place as being like one of the fucking great horror movies of like at least the 2000s, man.
The opening of the second one is crazy too, where they're in the cottage and like they get attacked in the cottage and he runs away and they're chasing him through the field and he's like trying to get to the boat.
Yeah.
That is a fucking
Suspenseful. Great. That's what those movies are really good at. Just like building suspense and like keeping you on the edge of your seat to like really those close calls. That's what is great about like a fast infected, you know, person instead of like a slower moving zombie, is the danger level fucking elevates, you know, quite a bit.
I like the whole thing with that movie too, where 28 days later is like basically like controlled. Like there's none left. Everybody who was infected like died or whatnot, but then you know they find the woman and she's like she's got the immunity, but she's a carrier, so like she could give it to other people still, and that kicks it off again.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. I can't wait for the third one because I feel
Yeah,
like
it's being made, right?
Yeah,
Or
like I
was
feel
made?
like I think it's being made or it's in the process of being made. It's definitely
29
going on.
years later.
Yeah, whatever the hell, 28 years later, whatnot. Yeah. I do like it because they took enough time in between. They didn't rush it out, and I feel like they're not gonna fuck it up. I feel like it's gonna be good, and I feel like there's enough like air in the story where like you can make things fit in no problem. You know what I mean?
So is there going to be like a 280 years later, like follow up?
I think this is it, man. I think he's doing a trilogy. I think that's it. I think they would have had to do it a different. They would have had to do a different naming scheme if they were going to do that shit. Yeah. All right, but let's get into Zombie 4. All right, enough with these other fucking zombie movies. Let's get into Zombie 4. So this movie, I guess I'll give you a little synopsis because there is an underlying story to everything. Yeah. There's this island, and these doctors are there trying to develop basically like a miracle. I can't speak today. Shit, man. Basically trying to develop like a miracle cure for like cancers and all sorts of stuff. And they try to give it to this young girl. She dies because of it. And her father ends up being a voodoo priest who curses everybody on the island and brings the dead back. And our main character is a child at the time. She's sent away while her parents are killed by zombies, and she returns years later to try to figure out what happened to her parents, and of course, panic, horror, and zombification ensues. Yes, pretty straightforward thing, you know, just like Zombie. She's going back to the island to find out some information. Something happened because there was some sort of fucking medical shit going on there. You know, that's what they were doing in Zombie. They were researching the fucking researching all the shit going on there. What do you think about the setup where you have this? They go right into it. When they open the movie, it looks almost like something from like the fucking Serpent and the Rainbow or whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. I this is what made me like really like this one right off the jump. Like I said before, I love the tie to the original, like, you know, zombie movies that were ever made with the voodoo. This guy is an awesome voodoo priest that we're about to see. You know, him basically explaining to these people that you guys are fucked. It doesn't matter if you kill me. None of that matters. You're never getting off the island of the dead, is basically what he calls this place.
Where the dead shall devour the living. And this island is destined to become the island of the living dead.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
You're wrong. You're mad. Some of us have already managed to get away. Thanks to them, your macabre plans will be defeated.
Macabre.
Oh, you think so?
No one can escape the voodoo spell.
Oh,
Guy's all neck.
No
Did you
one
see
can
that shit?
escape his
he
destiny.
was too. The giraffe.
This dude just blows him away without asking any more questions.
What a, overreaction, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, the guy's like, "You fool!" After that, 'cause he knows, like,
Yeah,
"Fuck,
well,
man." Now we
what
have
you
no
didn't see
idea.
Is before that, this voodoo guy basically sent his wife to hell. Opened up a portal in the ground,
Yeah, he's for real.
kicks her ass in the hole, and the rest is history, man.
No, it's
it
not.
was basically
It ain't.
foretold, yeah, that she's not done. She's coming back, baby.
So this motherfucker gets blown away, but unfortunately, this sets off a series of events that lead to catastrophic consequences for our adventurers / doctors here.
And this is what you said was very demons-esh, you know, like the design of this, hell wife or whatever you want to call her is like straight out of that movie.
Out of the ground, one of my favorite things ever.
Looks so good, yeah.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, the makeup's awesome. If this was a,
Great, love it.
Come on, let's kill her!
yeah, he just gets this
Tosses
dude like
his
goes
ass.
after her. Yeah, just throws him against the wall. She's like puking up green goo, ripping people's faces off.
The way she turns like that is awesome. I don't know, something about it.
Literally rips
Pulls
a guy's
his eye out.
Yeah, rips a guy's eye out. She's like foaming and drooling from the mouth. Man,
It goes on from there, just causing pure fucking terror and chaos.
this is all within the first like 10 minutes of the movie too, right? Like
That's
this
why
is,
I'm like, yeah, I'm in. This is it. This is gonna be fun.
but this is basically what kicks off everything. We now cut to everybody getting killed and whatnot. But you see a family, a husband and a wife and a little kid running through the woods. And unfortunately for them, they start getting grabbed by these zombies. The mom gives the little girl this amulet and she says, fucking run. And don't worry about me. I'll meet up with you later. Just, run to safety. And she does. And that is how the movie starts. Just a
It's a good
wild.
setup.
Yeah,
It's
just
a great setup, dude.
just a wild, like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom type, like underground layer going on. You got the jungle. It's almost like a cannibal movie with them being chased through the jungle by these zombies, right? Like we've seen that in all these, Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Holocaust and whatnot.
I think that's why I probably like this so much, is it really does have that cannibal movie feel, and it more so because the zombies don't really resemble true zombies to me, that they kind of almost just resemble like this like really dark evil kind of like tribes people in a way, because they're just like they're not truly undead looking in
That's
a
true.
sense.
Have you ever seen Dr. Butcher MD?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think about that one? Because that technically is like a cannibal movie with zombies in it.
There's a lot of movies that kind of qualify into that. Like I would never put Dead Alive into being a zombie movie, but it absolutely, is a zombie movie. And, Butcher MD is no different. The whole hospital thing too is always like an interesting place for like a horror movie setting, man. Like the evil doctors, it's a very Frankenstein
The jungle
kind of play.
hospital. It's all dirty. There's blood everywhere. There's dried blood on everything. You could tell there's malaria just in the air. Right.
It's gonna be probably one of like the grossest feeling films as far as like you're just saying, like the actual hospital. Like imagine getting like work done in that fucking place. Like that's like the grodiest feeling ever.
I really think that this movie has a lot of parallels with a lot of the Italian cannibal films that we watched. I think by 1988, 1989, like the time that this movie came out, like they were just using all the good shit that worked in the early 80s, right? Like zombies,
yeah, I think that's
cannibal
very
shit,
true, man.
gore. Surprisingly, I don't think there was any nudity in this film, right?
No, not. I don't recall any. There's not. No.
Which is really odd for an Italian horror film, especially with like the gore that's in this movie, right?
You'd usually throw it right in there too. Get the extra views, It's
Yeah,
right there.
it's almost like they were just like, all right, fucking, let's just go with the violence and all that shit. And we'll
Yeah.
just make it kind of
Save
like
the boobs for later.
yeah, it's got like a little bit of an action feel to it also, right? It has like
Well, I think that's because like the mercenary team or whatever they are. They're like a ex-military kind of
I love
squad.
that shit. Dude, I love in the Italian horror movies when they have that stuff. I'm looking up another
Very
movie.
common.
Is it this one? I
It
believe
just
it's
introduces a great gang of like characters like right away, where there's obviously like a couple different soldier guys who all have their own characteristics and
I
like
got
that's like the best thing to me is like the different personalities you
Yeah.
get in these groups.
Hell of the Living Dead. That is one that we got to cover on this show. That's a good zombie movie. Jungle
Right.
zombies, got the mercenary dudes fucking running about and everything. That's a good one. Very similar to this. Very similar
Okay.
to this.
That one.
But like you were saying, we get a group of mercenaries that are accompanying this woman into the jungle, right, to figure out what's up.
And they don't know that she's like coming back to this island to investigate her parents, death basically. She's basically not told them that all this weird shit has gone on, that she's been there before. She's just kind of along for the ride, it seems like, because all that stuff comes out later.
See, I took it as she didn't realize where she was, and she didn't know that was the island until everything started going on and whatnot.
But I felt like she was like totally like the plan was for her to go and like investigate what happened to her parents. Like that was her plan.
But I don't think they were gonna stop at that island, because remember the boat just died, and the guy's like, the fucking steering wheel doesn't work either. We gotta just take it in.
We're gonna crash into that island, yeah, for sure. I remember.
So I think she had an idea of the area, but I don't think she knew exactly. And I think like
she was there, and then she's like, fuck.
And then like the memories started coming back to her, because remember, it's voodoo zombies. So there's a supernatural entity moving about the island and flowing through the air, right? Like that's
she's got this special necklace amulet fucking thing that her mother gave her, and so she also has like this. Yeah, there is like this supernatural thing. She like finds this fucking, what is it, like a table with all the fucking candles on it, like the gates of hell.
Hell yeah.
The voodoo kind of ritual
like a hell
thing
door or whatnot. Yeah.
And like all the fucking mercenaries are just like, oh, it's bullshit. They're like blowing the candles out.
Yeah,
and she's like,
of
what
course.
the fuck, guys?
Of course. But there's also another group that's out there just kind of hiking. Right? There's the three people that are just hanging out. They're just like fucking backpacking about.
They felt like more of Indiana Jones, like you were saying, type characters, more just like, explorers, looking for certain relics and shit like that, because they end up they do find a Book of the Dead.
Hell yeah. Gotta do it.
Of course they find the fucking Book of the Dead.
Of course.
Only thing better is if it would have just been called the Necronomicon. That would have fucking set
what
it
can you
off
do,
for
man?
me.
Yeah, you know what I like? That they said that like the premonition or the what the hell would you call it? The prophecy or whatnot was that it would start in a grotto. I love that they call that shit a grotto. I don't know what the fuck it is, man.
That little cave that they're in.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That's the kind of fucking vocabulary we need in these movies. I wonder if that was like a linguistal issue. Like it got lost in translation.
Like what actually are they talking about? Yeah.
Was it supposed to
I
be
just think of the fucking Playboy grotto whenever I hear that.
But what do these stupid motherfuckers do, man? Because you just can't help yourself when you have the power of hell in your hands.
I'd be the asshole that reads from the book.
Bro, I'd punch you
the one guy
head.
starts and he backs out. He's like, I don't want to fucking.
He comes to his senses. Yeah.
Yeah, it says right in there, this is gonna fucking wake the dead up and shit. If you say these 3 phrases, and he's like, I'm done. And the guy's like, get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you?
Stupid motherfucker does it.
I'm gonna fucking say these goddamn phrases.
And this is what happens. Zombies
instantly.
attacking these people like a street gang.
Foot Clan is here to fuck them up.
Yeah, ripping them apart, gooing from the mouth.
Looks like they're going to a fucking Misfits concert.
Looks like me in middle school. So this group is trying to fight them off the best they can. The woman gets caught, though, and she gets her throat ripped out. I think her guts ripped out, too, it looks like. The other guy also gets, like, his face ripped off, right? Is that the dude that gets, like, defaced?
That's the fucking, the dude that said the words.
Yeah, what a dumb fuck. See?
Slick guy there. He's in for the ride for the fucking rest of the movie.
But, yeah, one of them does get away. He ends up joining the group later on. But the mercenary group also gets attacked after this. And
what was his friend? Terry? Terry's the unfortunate one, dude. He's just out kind of lagging behind, and he runs into the wrong guy down by the beach.
He was the only one not wearing, like, he wasn't wearing military gear. What was up with him?
I didn't understand how he was, like, a mercenary. Like, they were all, like, tight with him.
Right?
I'm like, the guy from The Office? Like, what are we fucking talking about? Is he doing the books for you guys? Like, this is it's a weird matchup, man.
So he's like over in the river or something. And a zombie pops up behind him. That's my bald ass behind him. Popping up, biting him right in the neck.
Getting like Billy Corgan biting him.
Very similar to like the Miguel bite from Dawn of the Dead. Miguel, no, and bites her neck off. You know, looks like
I love a good zombie pop over the shoulder look, man. It always looks great coming out of nowhere. The fucking bite on the fucking collarbone always looks really nice, and it's a tender spot. You kind of get the feeling of it.
And he's not dead right there. He's kind of just like laying in agony. He's gonna die a slow death, as one does in a zombie film.
I didn't understand that. Why did the zombie just stop? Zombies don't, like, once they're attacking, they kill the person. They don't just be like, I'm gonna take a little bite. No, that's not for me, and then fucking move on.
He fought him off. I'll take it as he fought him off.
Popped him with an uppercut and fucking sent him flying into the river.
yeah. Dude, it works. Back body drop, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is where this is where our main mercenary group and our young female from the beginning end up getting involved. And it's all downhill from here, right? Very similar to Zombie, that once that first attack happens, that's fucking it. It just keeps getting worse and worse. But as you can see, like, the zombies have a very specific look to them in this. It will not be the case when one of the main cast members turns. But all like the other just jungle zombies or whatnot, they all kind of look the same. They have this black cloak, this black type fucking
shroud.
Yeah, and I don't know. Okay,
it looks like every modern black metal band from the United States is basically what these guys are dressed like.
There you go. But as this shit goes on, they start basically turning each other. Right? Very rarely does one actually get bit by like a random zombie. It seems to be like they all, end up falling for it.
And it's because they make the dumb mistake of nursing their fucking bitten friends, trying to help them in some way, when it's, once you're bitten, I'm putting you down. I'm not taking the chance, dude.
That's it. Well, there's the one scene where our man that just got bit finally comes back, right?
Of course he does. Of course he's dude. Pisses me off. I guess if you don't know about the fucking, I don't know anything about zombies. I just know my friend got bit by some fucking Billy Corgan looking fucking guy in the jungle. So like, I guess I would let him live, but once this happens once, they make the mistake multiple times. I just don't understand.
Why?
Yeah, put him the fuck down.
What happened to you?
This guy looks like literal fucking hell.
He's one of them. Same as the others.
Yep, he is.
Aim for the head.
No.
I like that guy.
Screw you.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna shoot Tommy. He's one of us.
Oh, it's Tommy, not Terry. Damn it.
The wild man is the one fucking hesitating.
Yeah.
He
You can't live anymore.
This dude is the man. Blasted him. That's it.
Nice.
I
love
love
the sheets behind it. It looks great. Dude.
I was gonna say I love the way that whole thing is lit. Looks like it's a kid's bedroom though, right? It looks like
Yeah, it does.
like 80s bed sheets back.
Got a fucking fort built behind him.
But why do they always, dude? I'm giving you permission right now. If we're ever in the situation where there's a zombie apocalypse and I get fucking
Putting you
bit,
down, bro.
put me
I'm
down,
putting you
dude. That's it.
I'm gonna
Fucking-
tell you, homie, I'm doing this for your own good.
To be honest, I'd probably just do it myself. Like if
Yeah,
I
like,
knew
nah,
that was the
homie.
outcome, I'm gonna be like,
got
I ain't
this.
gonna. Yeah. I like in Dawn of the Dead though, where he's
On
like,
my own terms.
I like Dawn of the Dead, where he's like, fucking, I'm gonna try really hard not to come back. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
And there's no trying, bro. That's it.
Yeah,
you're coming back.
back.
That's it. And that's really the way that you got to handle the situation, right? This guy is no longer your friend. He's not your squad mate. He's not your whatever. He is coming after
the
you to
person.
eat you.
Yeah, it's not the person you knew. It's it's an animal at this point who's
And he's
You're its
also
prey.
like dripping green goo out of his mouth.
gooey. Yeah. Don't touch me with that, dude. I'll fucking shoot you, bro.
But eventually they're all holed up into this like medical facility where everything originally went down. Very reminiscent of the hospital showdown in Zombie 2,
Yeah.
right? They figure, hey man, what's something
worked
that
there.
works on everything? Fire. Fire literally works on everything.
I love a good burn, man. Especially like a good 80s burn. They just look so different than
Yeah, because it's real. No
other-
safety
yeah,
standards. They're
That's
just
what I'm
letting it
saying.
rip.
It's just because it's legit, dude. This guy burns for a while.
Kill them, motherfuckers.
Kill them motherfuckers. Yeah.
That is a huge fucking wall of flames. You can tell it's hot. Look at
Oh yeah. They're like, oh shit.
that. Yeah, all the zombies are being held off by
One gets
fire.
it though.
That guy is completely engulfed.
bro.
Like
Yeah.
that is a wild. Look, he's still running.
Dude, and he's
Oh,
still
he doesn't know
going,
where to
dude.
go. He doesn't know where to go. Oh, he finally
He
lays
goes
down.
down, dude.
Oh man, that is a great burn. I didn't notice that. Like when I first watched this movie, I didn't realize that it went on for that long.
It's a long fucking and there's no cuts. It's that dude fucking burning for at least a good minute in that fucking suit, man.
Yeah.
Brutal.
One thing that I found pretty funny about this movie is that the dudes find like a box full of guns and like grenades and shit. Right?
course they do.
He's like, I found some M16s, and the wild man's like, oh baby, oh baby. He's like getting all fucking crazy over it. I love that. I love that for some reason. That whole thing where he's like, now we could take on anything. It's like,
And then, yeah.
damn,
Does not-
bro. Yeah, he just falls
Not
apart.
always work.
Falls apart. But a cool thing that I saw in this movie that was, I guess, a direct like rip from Zombie 2 was when the dude's girl that he was like, I'll protect you or whatever.
Yeah.
She don't make it, man.
Switcheroo, bro. Yeah.
And he don't
fake
realize
out.
it. It's the same thing that happened in fucking Zombie 2 with Brian. He's like, oh, and then he gets attacked, and it's like, oh fuck, dude. Like,
It's filmed so similar too, dude. It's so funny.
It's dangerous.
I thought you were gonna take care of me. Why did
see,
you leave me
she's
all alone?
zombified, but
And
she's
can
still
talk.
speaking.
It is a cool aspect, I guess. Now that you're saying it. Oh, then the reveal.
Yeah, he like moves her hair, and he sees,
Oh, her face is gone.
and he gets fucking bit the fuck up. Run, man.
So, what's weird to me is from anytime we see that wild man as a zombie from here on out, he's got like giant areola wounds. Like all it looks like is he has like the world's biggest nipples. Like it doesn't even look like fucking wounds, and it's so distracting. I'm like, what the fuck were they thinking with this makeup placement, dude?
do we see it when all the zombies are standing outside?
Oh yeah, show the zombie gang, like all of them just standing there. He's gonna come walking over with his giant pepperoni nipples.
So all the zombies are standing outside the house. They're waiting for their new leader now. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh,
Dude,
that
come
can't
on.
be on. That can't.
Bro, come the fuck on. Why would you put those there?
If you can't, right here and right there. What the
Oh,
fuck?
my goodness.
Man, that
Dude,
can't be unseen.
Weird placement, dude. Weird placement.
That can't be unseen. But I really
Everybody
did like,
else has to live with that now that they fucking have heard it.
I really did like that fucking scene though. Like
It is
him,
cool,
like
yeah.
him going crazy, him running out, him getting killed, and then him turning into the zombie. But he's like a sentient zombie. Like he's the most advanced of them all.
I love how he comes walking up with like the M16 still. Like this
like a
badass
gun, bro.
zombie.
Well,
Yeah,
we
dude,
do
it's-
see a zombie with a gun. He blows the one dude away.
This is such a weird thing, man. This is what I was saying. Like, so the fucking mustachioed mercenary at one point, he gets fucking bit. Of course he does. And they make the dumb decision to fucking keep him in the fucking hospital and nurse him back to health. They should have put this guy down. And he fucking dies, right? And
they
they
still
just
got
put
him
a
there.
blanket over him.
And
And they're like, all right, let him chill for a minute. We know he's going to come back, but let's let him fucking chill for a minute, dude.
Well, they
Stupid
learned
as
their
shit
lesson.
Oh, I should probably check on him when he goes over.
I wonder what's going on over here. Oh, he's got his gun, and he's awake, and he just shot me in
Pops
the
his
chest. Just shot me in the fucking chest. Nobody else thinks to fucking shoot this dude at this point either.
And they wouldn't be worried about getting shot also? They're just standing there?
Zombie or not, this dude is opening fire on your
He's got a
man. Like,
fucking M16, dude.
yeah, you know what the funniest thing is? There where the blood thing is, like where the blood effect happened, there was a mat, like a sheet on the floor. Like they were like, don't get any blood on the floor. But what's with the dumb decisions like this? It's not even like plot armor or anything. Like it's, I don't know, man.
I will say though that the mustachioed mercenary is the best looking zombie. I fucking
Yes.
love the way that guy
Yes.
looks, man.
I agree with that.
I mean, Tommy was pretty cool too, man. But when he first got his
Nah,
head
but
blown
now
off,
I can't unsee the pepperoni nipples. So that's
Well, that's the wild man. I'm talking about Tommy who got shot in the head.
Oh, yeah. He looked like
looked
something out
pretty
of a
fucking
Japanese
good.
horror
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
right? He looked like something out of Oregon or
that's a great-
something.
Even with that, like the sheets and the lighting and everything, it did look like a fucking 90s
Looked like
Japanese
Oregon.
horror movie.
That's what it looked like.
Oh yeah, that's a great comparison.
So now, Grizz, what do you think about the ending here?
A little confusing.
Okay. Do you get it?
You know,
Did you
yeah,
understand?
she has to like, you know, she's basically sacrificing herself into like the hell portal or whatever
Mm-hmm.
to fucking stop the voodoo madness from continuing. But it was just done in a kind of a weird way. She like pulls her eyeball out and fucking throws it into the hole.
Let's roll that. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. Yeah, so she starts like turning into a zombie also.
The other guy's getting fucking shit wrecked.
Yeah, he's getting
fisted.
he's getting fisted through the chest. But her eye starts like mutating like yet again like a Japanese body horror film. He's making an O face for some reason, but she
The
pulls
turn
her.
right here looks like shit. I wish they wouldn't have made it like. I wish she wouldn't have to turn it because it shows like the whole eyelid like being attached to it. It'd be better if it was just the eye. I think.
Yeah. And she's just like
fucking-
holding the fucking thing out. Now here's the thing. It's left pretty ambiguous. Seems like it didn't do shit.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. Like, it doesn't show a conclusion as far as like, did it work? Is she's dead now? She's a zombie now? Like, because it just hits her credits with her face being all fucking jacked up. And that's
That's
the end.
it. Like she's just basically a zombie. So there's still zombies then I'm taking.
It didn't work.
I love it. I'm gonna take it like that because I like the downer ending.
Yeah, I'd prefer it to be continuing. Let the zombies run free.
Yeah, but overall, I
Out of the
think
voodoo madness.
this is a solid fucking like zombie action flick.
Yeah, I don't hate this at all, man. This is a really fun watch. Hour 20, it's super quick to get through.
Yeah,
So,
moves. There's always something going on. There's action. Like as soon as they get to the island, there's action. There's action in the intro. The whole voodoo aspect is cool. It's not really like over the top either. It's really only in the beginning, and like
great soundtrack too, man.
the
I mean,
score is great.
3 is definitely, I think, one of the best soundtracks of the series. I love the soundtrack to fucking 3. But this one is super strong. Also, that intro song that we don't get to hear yet or whatever, like that's fucking. That intro song is really good.
Was that 3 that shared music with like Cannibal Ferox?
Yeah.
Right,
That's probably
was that
why it's
3?
so fucking good.
Yeah. But I really like this one. I think a lot of people would dig this. It's on Tubi, and there's a great high definition copy of this out there.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, like the one on Tubi looks really good. I don't know if there's a 4K, but this one is at least HD or whatnot.
Cleaned up nice.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed this. It's really nice to watch a movie that is thoroughly enjoyable.
It wasn't. Yeah, I could see everything, and there's some money behind it. It was nice for a change, dude.
Yeah,
we
fuck
should
yeah,
do this
man.
more often.
Now, next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be covering a movie that I've owned for a while, but we haven't covered it for whatever reason, and that's going to be Hollywood's New Blood from 1988. One that we kind of kept like being like, hey, you want to do that next week? And then we'd be like, yeah. And then when the next week came, we'll be like, well, no, we would just be like, what movie did we say? And then
we have a hard time. We like agree upon a movie the week before, and then like right before we start, we're like, well, what were we gonna do? And then we scramble to try to find fucking a movie.
Well, yeah. Well, like sometimes then like we'll watch a movie during the week. It's like, yo, I watched a really good movie. Like, let's do that. Or like, I'll get a movie in the mail. Or like, you'll see something about, oh, dude, I saw this on YouTube. Like, let's fucking like watch this movie. It's hard. Episode 315 or whatever the fuck we're on, right? Like, it's fucking hard, man. It's hard to remember. Think about how many movies we've watched. Jesus. I hope that people at least go and watch like a couple of these ones that they've never heard of.
5 or 6 at least. Yeah.
Yeah, that you've never heard of. Like everybody's seen fucking Jason, everybody's seen Freddy, but have you seen fucking Zombie 4? Have you?
How about Hellroller? Have you watched Hellroller?
Have you ever watched Hellroller? Have you ever watched fucking
Burglar from Hell?
Yeah. Where else are you going to see cryptic plasm? Come on. But next week, like I said, Hollywood's New Blood. That should be a good
radon,
time.
Dude. Nice. Good tape
there it is. There it is.
Tape up there. I'm sure it's worth a little bit now.
But Grizz, it's time to head over to the wide world of metal, and I fucking love this one this week.
I knew you would, dude.
What are we listening to?
Dude, a really fucking nice blackened death metal band that just absolutely fucking rips in all aspects. I hope I'm pronouncing the fucking name of it right. Sanguine Imperator.
Yeah, Sanguine Imperator.
Imperator, yeah, that's probably the better pronunciation of it. But dude, this latest release, I believe it's entitled "I Am Death." I'm not sure if I can find a different name for it or not. But dude, every fucking song, it just moves through one after the other, and it's such a complete fucking album. The sound has all the elements of death metal that I love, all the elements of black metal that I love, some great fucking synth work that is like spooky and shit in certain parts, man.
Nice textures, audio textures.
And then the guitar players are just fucking rippers, dude. Just really fucking going for it.
For sure.
I fell in love with this, man.
All right, which one do you want to do first?
Let's start with the Total War track. This gives you a good idea what they're all about.
I think this was my favorite.
This is good, man.
There you go. That little.
I like that.
That artwork is sick.
Oh, dude, and I love that like just that natural like fade out on that note, just being tremoed like that.
I love this shit. Atmospheric. The vocalist is awesome.
So good. I'm so glad it's like a death metal approach to the vocals on it, man. It really just drives it home of being like really good. It could have been like your traditional black metal delivery and it would have been okay. But man, to have that like blackened death metal fucking vocal just be like deep, guttural on fucking top of the beat like that, it's mixed so perfectly in, man.
I agree, and I fucking love the artwork. I would love a t-shirt of that artwork. It's fucking sick. The whole they got the whole package, man.
Yeah. Dude, it's just like a tiny, like I think it's a 5-piece altogether, like 4 dudes and this girl that like make up the whole band. and I'm just super impressed with like the sound that they're able to get. It's so easy to kind of like fall into like sounding similar to everything in this genre. Like a lot of black metal stuff, especially, just like kind of gets rehashed. And the same thing with death metal, man. I mean, it's just come to a point where a lot of things lack uniqueness in a way. You know, I listen to so many fucking bands each week trying to find something good for this channel, and a lot of it is very cookie cutter. What's working for this band, let's make it work for our band, kind of a thing. So to find a band like this that is like really fucking unique in their songwriting and their approach to putting these songs together, it's not just like verse chorus, that kind of fucking, you know, build of things. Like let's get into the Flesh Eaters, which is a perfect song for this week's movie as well. Yeah. That drumming is so nice.
The production of this is awesome too. The guitar tone is sick.
Everything sits in the right spots, man. Nothing's overpowering. That guitar riff is sick.
It still has like the black metal cadence of like the vocal like patterns and stuff, but it's got a death metal singer though.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Such a cool approach to it. I think that's why I just was like, as soon as I heard it too, I was like, man, Mike's gonna fucking.
Yeah, I love this.
This is one that he's really gonna fucking get into. Because we're both big black metal fans and shit like that. But like, before that, we've always been death metal fans.
That's where it all came from. Yeah.
You know, so to have the elements of black metal that I think me and you both kind of are drawn to, but then put into a package of like true fucking death metal heads making it really, I was like, fucking home run, dude.
Yeah, this is fucking awesome.
And this last track is it's kind of like the single from the album, I guess it is. All these songs are like fucking 4 or 5 minutes. Also, like this is a 48-minute long fucking album.
It's a real album. It's a real album.
Yeah. Vashenish is, I believe, the name of the track, and this is just part of it where they are just crushing the fucking guitars, man. God damn, I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, the double fucking harmonies.
This is awesome.
And then the fucking synth comes in and matches it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, man. That's some good shit. That's some fucking talent there.
Yeah. Sanguine Imperator or Imperator or whatever Mike called this. I should get better at pronouncing the bands that we're promoting, but god damn it, you guys have some fucking hard names to pronounce.
Yeah, just name your band like Metallica or something. Like
yeah, dude.
Megadeth, Death, Slayer. Easy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, they're fucking awesome. Definitely go check them out. It's crazy that you're able to find all these bands out there. They're out there. You just got to look for them, right? Like that's the whole thing. You got to put the effort in.
I dig through so much stuff from all over the fucking world. I've listened to like probably bands from 20 different countries today, trying to find something that like really stood out. Sometimes I find it right away. I'm just like, yeah, this is fucking it, man. But then other times it's a grueling task to I think I spent about a good 40 minutes digging through bands today till I found this one, and I was like, this is it.
Worth it.
I'm putting my fucking stamp on it, dude. I'm not gonna fucking call just anything fucking good, man. I want people to get into it. So.
No, that's definitely awesome. I really enjoyed it. But Grizz, I think that just about wraps it up for this week. Is there anything else that you would like to speak about?
No, I fucking punched myself in the face, man. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but I got a slight black eye in the fucking one side of my face from my own doing. I was so glad. Like I woke up today, I was like, my eye is gonna be fucking jacked because it hurts. Like the entire eye socket area is pretty fucking tender to touch, and I was like, it's gonna be black and fucking blue for this podcast. And luckily, it's like
you were using a pry bar of some sort or whatever, and
inside of a wheel well.
Yeah.
On some frozen up brakes.
And
Gave
it,
way.
yeah, let rip right onto your face. Hey man,
Dude.
at least you punched yourself and you didn't take the bar to the face.
No, yeah, it was definitely my knuckle print is on the fucking bridge of my nose. And dude, I hit myself so hard that I like knocked myself over and had to stop for a minute and be like, what the fuck just happened? Because I was confused as to how I ended up on the ground.
That's fucking wild. But you made it here. You sounded
Yeah, I'm
coherent,
alive,
so
dude.
I don't think you have to go through concussion protocol. I think you're
All right,
okay.
bro.
You're cleared for action.
I've been
But
sleeping.
Grizz,
I hope I'm good.
where could they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video, and you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. We stream every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be covering Hollywood's New Blood next week. If you can't catch it live, you can always watch the replays. They're on our YouTube channel. Or you can listen to just the audio version that we put out wherever podcasts are listened to. Can't believe that that's still fucking going on, but we appreciate you guys. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Like, to see the decline of like the podcast world is like nuts, because we started, I think, like probably around the boom, if not like a little bit before it. But we saw like the whole fucking the rise and fall, and I feel like now people are transitioning more, just like we did, to video.
I think most people want to put like a face with a voice if they can, and like if there is another aspect that they can get from a podcast, as far as like, you know, we try to bring the visual aspect of the movie clips that we enjoy. I think it just kind of adds another layer of entertainment that's available when, you know, and I think what you're seeing too is a lot of people, you know, who are in our shoes as well, and people who are in much bigger shoes than us, doing the aspect that we are doing, both, where it's like you're going to get the feed, but the feed is from a live video that you can go back and watch somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the feed sells, you know, the live video aspect, because this is a lot of fun. Like coming on the YouTube, checking out the videos, especially if you're coming live and you're getting in the chat and hanging out with everybody and stuff. I think that's where like this is the funnest aspect of doing the YouTube shows.
I agree. The more like the live interaction with people and all that shit.
Yeah.
It's definitely not as fun because we have to do everything remote. So it's not like Grizz comes to my house and we come to the Double Cross studio and have a few drinks, do whatever, and have a good time. You're doing it via computer, so it's you gotta. When you're just talking and doing it, it's a little harder. Also, like with the clips, like you said, because it's hard to just like find things that just sound good, that are important to the story. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's just no dialogue, and sometimes people just don't give a shit. You know, what the fuck are you gonna play, like empty room noise? I don't know. But Grizz, I think that's it. I think we're going to finally let these people go. They're probably sick of hearing us.
More
we
likely.
will see you next week with Hollywood's New Blood.
Yes.
But before that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.